SketchUp Layout is a great system to allow you to take what you have drawn in SketchUp and create construction documents to go with it. And it does it easily where it's on a title block. You can add dimensions, everything's set the way you need to. But before we get into layout, there's actually, you have to get everything set in SketchUp itself. And so with that, you're going to be creating scenes for each of the drawings that you want. So think of the scenes kind of as the viewports that you're going to want to put on your title blocks. So you'll have, typically, I'll go to scenes and I'll add a first one, just hit create scene. And lots of times, so it'll come up here, there's a tab and it says scene 1. If you'll right click on that and hit rename, you can rename it. So lots of times I'll name the first one either model or working. Model keeps it similar to the way AutoCAD works as you go through it. But so this is the one that I can make any changes to and continue to work in as I want to. From there, the easiest way to continue to add scenes is to go up to the first tab and you're going to right click and you're going to add, and you'll see it's created a scene 2 now. I usually rename as I go along so I can kind of make a list and make sure I have everything. So like this one would be my partition plan, and then I would add another one and make it, maybe it's my furniture plan. And you'll do this for everything. So you need it for your elevations, all of that as you go through it. So we'll just put elevation 1 and so on. So you'll keep going through all of that with that. So you'll have your list of whatever it is that you need. So partition, furniture, if you do a lighting plan, if you do electrical, and then however many elevations that you're going to be doing. So once you have those, then I'll typically go to, let's say I'm going to start with a partition plan. And what I do is I start to make this drawing look the way that I want it to. So the first thing I'm going to do for a partition plan is go to a top view. I don't have any furniture in this one. We're just going to focus more on the more construction drawing type plans as you go through. So for my partition plan, I'm going to make sure I want my walls showing. I've got my door swing here. I want anything that's built in, so my cabinets, my sink, my refrigerator, bathtub, all of that, I want that showing. You also want to make sure that you've used your tags to organize everything. So I can come in here and like I've got floors on its own tag, so I can turn that off and it's not going to show as it goes through. Now I can also see with this that I'm missing a line that I need for my door swing. So I can come to this door swing one and I can go ahead and I can add that in, and lots of times I'll kind of make sure that I'm getting close to it. So I know that it'll match up as we go through. Depending on if you did your door swings at the beginning, I did not, which I added mine later as part of the problem, then you wouldn't have to worry about this because yours would show. Okay, good. So I've got that showing. And then I don't want to see any color on this really. So for your construction drawings, they should always be black and white. That's what you'll be using for that. So to make sure this looks the way that I want it to, I'm going to come over to styles and I'm going to find a style that basically gets rid of the color as it goes through. So hidden line is one, wireframe is another. Wireframe, and you can see it works for some things and not for others. So it's showing my windows here, but it's also, it hid some of the tub that I had with that. And actually my tub's not showing even on hidden line, and that has to do with because it's a component as it goes through. So what you can do with that is you can create another layer or another tag, sorry. I always want to call them layers because that's what they are in AutoCAD. And just name it construction document lines. Okay. So basically what that's telling me is I'm just going to draw on here what it is that I want to see on my construction documents. So that will let me kind of come in and just draw a very rough kind of tub surround, I guess you could say, as you go through there. And I'm just going to do this very quickly. It's not working well for me. But you would just go in and you would create that as you need to for lines. So you'll check out, make sure that's showing as you go through. And let's see, so that is showing my that I did there, my countertop, all of that. So that looks good. So now I'm going to go back to this isometric view. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to use under tools the section plane. And this basically is going to cut, it's just going to cut a section out of it. So for a partition plan, you're going to want the blue, the vertical. So I'm going to hit that. It's going to ask me to name it. I just hit OK and leave the name because it's not a big deal. Then you're going to use the move tool. And you can move this up or down. And what I want is I want it to cut through my windows as it goes through. So see here how it's got that cut through. So now if I come back to top view, it's showing me what my windows look like and where they are. All right, so that helps with all of that. So this looks like it's showing most of what I would want. I'm just going to work on the styles again. Okay. We'll go with this. It'll kind of keep it filled in, but that should be fine. And what's going on here, you see all my little lines, it's actually a detail that I'll do later with an elevation. So you're going to get it kind of centered where you want it. And then I'm going to come up to view and I'm going to make sure any guides I have are off. I'm going to turn off the axes. So that way it should make it nice and clean. Now, and this is the way that I want it to look, if this is how I want it. And I keep going back and forth on what I want. I'm going to come up to partition plan. I'm going to hit right click and I'm going to update. And it's going to ask me this and you just say yes, update scene. Basically what that's doing is that's saving the view when you hit update. So now if I go to model, you can see it comes back to the view that I had. And then if I click on partition plan, it's going to automatically change back to that view. So that makes it very helpful as you set it up. So then elevations, let's pick an easy one for now. For elevations, I always find that the position camera tool is the easiest. And I like to come in and place it in front of everything I want to show in the elevation. I'm going to click and hold and then drag it through to the other side. And you want to make sure that it's either on the green axes or the red axes and then let go. And it's going to pull up that elevation view. So same thing with this. I want to come in and I'm going to choose the style that I need that's basically going to do black and white as it comes through. And then again, I'm going to go to my views and turn off any guides and any axes as it goes through. And then I won't need all of this, so it does take like the whole wall, but I'll show you in, that was not what I meant to do. Well, that messed up my view. I will show you in layout how we will kind of get it how we want it and crop it with that. So, okay, I'm going to go to view, everything there looks correct, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to update, again, update scene so that I get that saved before I accidentally mess it up again. Okay, so I've got my model, I've got a partition plan, and I've got my elevations. So you will need to think through what items that you are creating for all of these and create a scene for each of these. So you should have several elevations in your partition plan. And then if you have any others, maybe you want to do a finish plan. And here, we'll go ahead and do that. So we're going to add one. So I'll just show you. Finish plan is often very similar to a partition plan. So for this, I'm actually going to save the same thing. And then I can go in and just add the tags and all that I need for that. Now you could, if you wanted to, put in a graphic for the flooring. And to do that, you would probably use that tags for the construction documents. But typically, you can also just use a finish tag ID, and we'll use it that way to go through.